Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Talking Reds. What is Arne Slot's best team going into the Christmas period? The busy schedule coming up is a tough one for Liverpool. I know been through some tough fixtures recently. We've got out of it unscathed, pretty unbeaten, and pretty much 100% record near enough, apart from the Arsenal game. However, we've got another tough period coming through with the Christmas period, and the games come thick and fast. So our team and our squad needs to be refreshed every so often. And luckily, we have a few players coming back, as well as other players have been ruled out as well, such as Conor Bradley and Ibrahima Konate. But the players coming back are Javier, Alisson Becker coming back as well. Diogo Jota is due to come back in the near future. So, what is the best team currently for Arne Slot to go into this Christmas period to play with? Starting with the goal, Keller is playing unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. And right now, it's hard to say, yeah, Alisson comes straight back in because Kelleher's playing out of this world. And if it was any other keeper in the world right now, if it was anyone else but Alisson Becker, then I'd happily stand here and sit here and say, Kelleher, you're starting. And it'd be easy choice because he's been absolutely phenomenal. He deserves to start. He deserves to play first team football. Maybe he might go in the summer to go get that first team football fully, and he deserves that fully for him because he's sensational, absolute sensational keeper and the best second keeper you can have in the world, bar none. But however, going into this Christmas period, I expect Alisson Becker to come back in, and that would be my preference as well because Alisson Becker still is the best keeper in the world. Still, keeps teams out despite defensive errors at times, and he is just the number one keeper in the world. And unfortunately, for Kelleher is behind him, and that's just the way it is. I'm glad Kelleher's played like this because it also keeps Alisson on his toes. If Alisson does drop off and it don't come back as expected in terms of performance, then Kelleher will just go straight back in. It's as simple as that for me. So yeah, it is a debate to be had because of the way Kelleher's played. But for me, I'm putting Alisson Becker back into that team for the Christmas period, and you can also bring Kelleher in for certain games as well. It's going to be a busy schedule, so there's going to be games where Kelleher can play, but Alisson Becker is the number one right now. Going into right back, obviously Conor Bradley is injured at the moment, but Trent Alexander-Arnold, just like Alisson Becker, is number one in the world in that position, so he should be playing no matter what. Conor Bradley again played fantastic against Real Madrid, kept Mbappe quiet all night, and it was sensational man of match performance from me. But it's Trent, and when Trent plays, you saw again on Sunday against Man City, he is just next level. He's next level. He's got to play at that right back position. Even if Conor Bradley were fit, I'd still be going with Trent Alexander-Arnold no matter what. But it's still nice to have Conor Bradley in and around the team there as well, in the background, in case Trent is off. Again, like Alisson Becker, if he's off, Kelleher comes in. If Trent is not playing well, then Conor Bradley can easily just slot in, and it won't be much of a big difference in terms of drop off in terms of defending and things like that. It won't affect the team that much. But however, Trent is the best in the world at that position, and is everything that we need in that position right now. And we saw on Sunday how important this guy is with his vision and also his defending. By the way, I'm not having this crap, this nonsense that I can't defend because he defended against some of the greatest wingers in the world and he's done absolutely fine. So Trent straight into right back position. So this is the tricky one now, the centre back position. Konate obviously injured now and for a couple of months, I'd say 6 to 8 weeks. So it's a place there for Kwanzaa and Gomez to make their own just for this coming time. Even maybe in the future, if Konate can't come back the same, then Gomez and Kwanzaa can fight it out for this position right now and see who's the best between them both. Gomez did an absolutely faultless job on Sunday against Haaland, against Man City, and deservedly plays for the rest of the Christmas period, with barring like certain games where he can get probably rested for Kwanzaa. But Gomez number one for me in terms of that position because the experience, the know-how of the games, the know-how in this sort of period of time when we need victories, we need grinding out results, and someone like Gomez in there is absolutely vital. The experience that he brings and the sheer presence of him, I think, is just absolutely vital. A few seasons ago, I wasn't happy the fact that Gomez was relied on so much because he did drop off as a centre back, and as a right back he also dropped off as well. And he found a new form. He found himself again at left back last season. He was absolutely sensational. Now I want him to get that back in centre back position because he did drop off massively. If he can get that back, that Gomez back that we saw and win the title with him and Van Dijk, then wow, we're absolutely blessed in that area for him to come back in straight away without Konate being there. Quansah is got to make a place for himself. Obviously, he was the number one centre back coming into the season alongside Virgil van Dijk, but a bad performance, and he's not really seen the first team since in terms of starting anyway. So when he gets those chances, he came on against Man City at right back and he did a decent job. It was against Doku. Doku was feeling lively that day, but did a good job. And when he gets his chances, that's all he can do. When he gets his chances, it's really show out and show himself that he is a competent centre back and he is sensational. Quansah. It's just unfortunate that Konate has just gone to another level this season, and Konate and Van Dijk are the best partnership in the world at the moment. So that's for me. It's Gomez going into this Christmas period, number one for me in that position. Quansah obviously needs to fight for it now. Van Dijk, I don't need to say anything else about Van Dijk. Van Dijk is Van Dijk, best centre back in the world, probably one of the best centre backs we've ever seen in football history. He's been sensational again against Man City. He was outstanding. He don't move. He don't move at that team. He's not even remotely replaceable. And if we ever got an injury to someone like him again, it's a big miss, and we can't afford that to happen. This is why Liverpool fans wanted a centre back in summer, because we wanted a backup for Van Dijk and potentially replace him if he does go in the summer or if he does go in the near future. But Van Dijk's a nailed on space, a nailed on place in that team, and it's not even a debate. So pointless even going on about that one. So left back, obviously Robertson is the only one fit right now. Unless Gomez goes to left back, but Gomez is occupied elsewhere at the moment. But yeah, Robertson, he played very well against Man City on Sunday. He got caught a couple of times towards the end. Savinho did him a couple of times, but other than that, it was a solid game from Robertson and a solid game from a few poor games recently. He's been very, very shaky. He cost the penalty against Real Madrid last week. He was okay against Real Madrid, but he cost the penalty and he's becoming a bit of a liability. However, we finally found that Robertson again on Sunday, and he was fantastic going forward as well as defending. He was much more solid than he has been this season, and that's what we need to see. That is exactly what we need to see from Robbo. We know the levels of Robbo. We know he's the best left back in the world on his day, and we need to see that day more often now. And it will be interesting to see how Robbo does over the Christmas period, because he hasn't got Tsimikas behind him right now. Tsimikas is hopefully back soon, but right now Robbo's got no one behind him pushing him, and Gomez is covering centre back. So will Robbo play complacency? Will he be complacent because of that? I'm hoping he isn't. I'm hoping he performs like he did against Man City going forward now into the Christmas period. Newcastle and Everton next two games. So it's a big period for Robbo, and he could be the make or break for Liverpool this season. The way if he steps up a little bit better, because the way he stepped up on Sunday, it just shows how important this guy is for us and why we regard him so high as a player. So yeah, obviously Robbo will be the main guy at left back going into the Christmas period, because they've got him pushing him, but he's the best one we've got there anyway. So I'm hoping Robbo just keeps up that performance like he did against City, because if he does, we're laughing. If he doesn't, then it's going to be a slight bit of a worry. And obviously, January is around the corner. If we need a left back, I think we need a left back anyway. Go get one. If we can, just keep Rob on his toes, keep him up to scratch. I'd say up to scratch. So going into midfield, the three midfielders. This is where the debate I think starts in terms of who should play and where they should play. Gravenberch and McAllister for me are irreplaceable. A bit like Van Dijk, I think them two just play themselves into positions and play themselves into the starting 11 every single week. McAllister's had a couple of games where he's been off a little bit, but then he pulls out man of the match performance against Real Madrid. Again on Sunday was sensational. These two need to play, and they need to play together. Even if we sign a DM next season, these two still need to play. We still need a DM next to Gravenberch and then McAllister further forward. We still need these two to play. These two are absolutely vital for what we do. These two are absolutely vital for this Arne Slot team and the way we want to play it. And no one for me is getting over them. I don't think we've even got competition for them in terms of how good these two are. So McAllister and Gravenberch, shoo-ins again for this Christmas. Who's going to be important for pushing them though this Christmas? Who's going to be important for giving them rest if they need rest? And obviously Curtis Jones is a big one for me. Curtis Jones has been sensational this season. From Curtis Jones, but all we ask from Curtis Jones is consistency with him. And he's finally showing it. And this season he's been absolutely incredible. We know he's a talented player. We've known for a long time what this guy's capable of. It's just he's too on and off for it to happen. Even when he gets to run of games, he's still on and off in terms of form. This season, it hasn't been that. It's been on all the time. And this is what I absolutely love to see, because those games against that game against Porto was absolutely sensational. We're seeing that week in, week out now. And that's what I love to see. And even when a little cameo against Man City on Sunday, he was full of confidence, full of swag, and full of everything you need as a centre midfielder. And that's what I like to see. So Curtis Jones certainly has a shout of playing a lot of games this Christmas period. If like McAllister or Gravenberch do need that rest, I'm absolutely fine with Curtis Jones slotting in anyway, because he's absolutely sensational player that can play, up to the level that we need. And he's finally showing it more consistently, and that's it's brilliant to see, absolutely brilliant to see. So Curtis Jones, can he play a bit further forward possibly? It all depends on like Szoboszlai and Elliott as well. Elliott's coming back as well. It's another player that's in my mind I'd love to see playing. But yeah, if I wouldn't mind seeing, to be honest, if I'm honest with you, I wouldn't mind seeing McAllister moving forward and Curtis Jones going alongside Gravenberch, or maybe the other way around, McAllister and Jones going into that 10th position. I wouldn't mind seeing anything like that, just a little bit different balance in certain games, different games. I won't do it away to Newcastle. I'd do it in certain games to just test it out a little bit. However, going into that 10th position, Szoboszlai is a player that I wanted a few years ago, and I never thought he would ever get going for this player, and he's shown absolute potential before signing for Liverpool. Last season, he was sensational for the first couple of months, and we saw, wow, this guy's exactly what we needed to buy him for, and he dropped off. And this season again, he's been underwhelming to what I expect of him. However, his work rate off the ball and his ability to shut down, his ability to get back, his ability to get across the pitch works for Arne Slot, and he's quite vital in Arne Slot's system. And when he plays better on the ball like he did on Sunday, that's the Szoboszlai we need to see. I think Sunday against Man City was a big game for every single one of them, and they all proved a point, I thought. And those ones that like Robbo and Szoboszlai that haven't been up to scratch in most games was absolutely sensational, and they showed us why we want them in the team. Szoboszlai, if he can keep that up again, if he can keep that up, just like Robbo, if he can keep that up like he did against Man City, then I'm absolutely fine for him to be the number 10 going forward in this Christmas period. But he's got someone on the back of his toes now. He's got someone right behind him, and this someone for me is the guy that I wanted to see number 10 this season, and that is Harvey Elliott. Came on a little bit in the Man City game, last few minutes of the game. Didn't really have much impact on the game. Didn't have really much long enough to do anything. But however, we know how good this guy is. We know how good Harvey Elliott is. What a baller! When I think of baller for Liverpool, right, Gravenberch and McAllister up there definitely. But I also think of Harvey Elliott is definitely the one that comes up for me as well for baller, because this guy, what a left foot is such a low gravity player that keeps the ball so well. He's perfect for that number 10 position. I've been crying out for him to play on the number 10 position for a long time. He's been on the right wing. He's been in centre midfield. He's neither of them. He was a right winger at Blackburn, sensational at Blackburn, but he's not built for a right winging position. He's not the way he plays football is not made for right wing. I don't think he's perfect for number 10 position. And if he can get a run of games under Arne Slot, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see it because I've been dying for him to be in this position for a long, long time. And he adds goals as well, which is fantastic, because because Szoboszlai is not really adding goals I'd like him to do. He can do it, but he's not doing it enough. So that's why I want to see Ivy Elliott get a run of games as well, and because he adds goals to his game, he adds brilliant assists. I think he's just as that creative spark we need, bar Salah. Relying on Salah and Trent a lot on that right hand side to create a lot, and Salah's been sensational at it. But Ivy Elliott coming in, I think, would take a lot off Salah and reliability on Salah to create something in and around that box. So yeah, Harvey Elliott for me. Would I say? You know what? I'd be happy either way with Szoboszlai or Harvey Elliott. But I would like, if I'm really honest with you, I would like to see Harvey Elliott get a run of games in this Christmas period, starting even maybe Newcastle this week. So, or even Everton on Saturday. See what he's like in that position, and Everton would be a good one because Everton are playing poor at the moment. It'd be absolutely perfect for him to start getting that. He needs a game like that to get confidence back, get himself back into the game, and show us what he's capable of. Going into the forward positions, get your comments in as well on the comments. Who would you choose between Szoboszlai and Elliott going forward into the Christmas period? It's a nice dilemma to have because they're both sensational players, and I think people will be happy with either, if I'm honest. And it's nice to have those options. So going forward, obviously the forward positions, Jota being out for a little bit longer. He's close to coming back, but he'll need to get match fitness back and things like that. So I'm not going to count Jota in this conversation just yet. Maybe a few weeks' time I might do. However, so going forward, we again played that formation of Diaz up front against City and Gakpo on the left, Salah on the right. Exactly what we did against Bayer Leverkusen. And I really liked it against Bayer Leverkusen. This weekend, I do like it, but I don't think Diaz did as much what he did against Leverkusen, unfortunately. So would I play him again? See, Diaz has been sensational this season, and so has Gakpo. It's hard because if Nunes came on again, a decent cameo, it was all about Nunes' passion and driving the ball, as in shutting down defenders and getting back and out defending, like towards the end when he got a tackle in towards our end of the box, and he also got a block in from the corner. And that I love that passion, I love that ability for him to get back and defend. But I just don't think he's better than Diaz, and I don't think he's a better scorer than Diaz, and that's a shame really because Nunes had potential to be a class striker. He just, for me, he just wastes too many chances that we can't allow to waste because it could start costing us points, and it did lose last season. It cost us a few points last season. Obviously, other people cost us points as well, but Nunes' misses, like against Luton, for example, just under the bar, and he somehow skied it. It costs us points, and we can't afford to drop points and allow Arsenal and Man City and Chelsea, whoever's behind us, to get confident. Because if they get confident, then the more pressure on us, then we might drop even more, and we can't allow that to happen. So for me, I would still stick with the Gakpo on the left, Diaz up front, and Salah on the right, because I just think them three can alternate and cause defenders havoc more than what being expected. I think they're not easier to read than the standard Gakpo on left or Diaz on left, Nunes up front, and Salah, because Diaz and Gakpo could swap every now and then. I'd still use Nunes quite a bit. I'd want Nunes give him a good amount of minutes off the bench, and be that impact player that I did it again on the weekend where we needed that someone to come on, just cause a bit of havoc and get this game put to bed. And I think Nunes is perfect for that. So you know what? If Nunes did start, I wouldn't be like, oh no, but I would personally go with Diaz up front, Gakpo on the left, and Salah on the right, and stick with that and see how it goes. Like you said, it's not Nunes coming off the bench or Nunes starting the game is not the end of the world, and Diaz going into left or Gakpo on the left with Nunes in the middle is not the end of the world. So I'd be happy either way. I think Nunes will get enough minutes this Christmas, but he needs to start scoring. And I hope he does. I hope over the Christmas period he becomes a bit of a match winner for us, and that'd be nice. A bit like he did against Newcastle last season. That'd be nice to see a bit more like that from Nunes, where he changes a game or he scores a goal that wins a game. It'd be nice to see that. But for me, Diaz up front, Salah on the right, Gakpo on the left, for me, would be my front three going into this Christmas period. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. Whatever you want to do, let me know in the comments. What is your 11 going into this Christmas period? Who deserves to get called up? Who deserves to be dropped? Get your thoughts in the comments and let me know your thoughts on that. Thank you everyone for watching. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and get your notification bells on because we're going to get content out every single day this week. Talking Quizzes is back, and a special episode of Talking Bibles coming up this week as well. Thank you everyone for watching.